That's right, everybody. Coming at you from the beautiful state of Kentucky. Love it down here. We are at the Muddy Flats shop here.
Yes, we are.
Down by the tailwaters. Owner Lance Brantley is here with us. Teammate Gunnar Hagen. And, of course, AMS Bowfishing, the Bowfishing Buzz podcast, brought to you by AMS Bowfishing and
Megamouth Bowfishing as well. Our fantastic sponsors, Matt.
Yes.
Efficiency Bowfishing Lights by Outdoor Innovations USA. End Designs, Leatherwork and Embroidery, and Painted Arrow. Guys, make sure to check out Painted Arrow's Mag
That's
Pro
right.
H2O Bowfishing mounts right to your phone.
Yes.
Magnetic. It's awesome. It's clean. It's slick. And use code AMS15 at checkout to save 15% off that order. So check them out.
Record your amazing shots on the water.
Absolutely.
Cool stuff.
Yep.
Cool stuff.
Yep. What episode are we on, Matt?
I believe we're on episode 108.
108? If we're wrong, we apologize.
We do. We apologize. It's been a blur since we've been down here.
Yes,
it's been fantastic.
We are under-caffeinated and overwhelmed, as usual, but for good reason. For good reason.
I never drink.
I was going to say, the fact that Matt has an energy drink is
I never drink Monster.
Alarming.
Let me take a sip here of the, what is this? Monster Real Punch Juice.
He's going to go crazy after he drinks this thing.
Lance Brantley gave me this.
Gotta go.
This is what I need to shoot them big fish. Right there. It's a Real Punch by Monster, folks. That's the one you need.
We got AMS energy drink reviews here. Oh my God, he's chugging it, Matt. That's not healthy.
It's not good.
Oh,
It was a long night last night. we had like 22 hours straight running around on the water, shooting fish.
Should we give everyone a rundown of how this trip started from the get-go, Matt, before we dive too far in here?
Okay, sure. Go ahead.
Trying to think.
Go ahead.
Monday, we headed down here.
Yes.
Mostly a travel day.
Yep.
Went out, had a very nice night of shooting Monday night.
Hold on, Schmitty.
Oh.
Where did we stay?
Oh, my gosh. We stayed at the coolest little Airbnb.
It was unbelievable. Way back in the Kentucky hollers.
Yep. Back in the Toolies. It was very cool. Very cool. It was like a little, almost like a shack house, a shouse, I think they call them.
Yeah.
But kind of a small little place. Very cool.
Yep.
There were owls hooting at night, coyotes.
Yes, there was.
It was beautiful.
Yeah, it was pretty cool.
But the coolest aspect of that Airbnb
I know what you're going to say.
was the fact that you walk in and, well, this is weird. Why is there a sliding ladder in an old library right as you walk in here? To get up to the beds in that Airbnb, you had to climb up this little ladder. And it literally was an old library ladder. They said, you know how they slide around to grab books off the top shelf? So we were climbing up there, and that's where we stayed for the first 2 nights. It was really cool. Very cool.
It was really cool.
Yeah.
Back in the Kentucky hollers.
Yes. Yep.
That night, we met up with Lance, Gunnar, and our good buddy Dennis Redden. And we went out on the river, and, man, there was fish up good.
There was.
We had a great time.
Great night.
Shooting silvers, big heads. It was a fun time. I haven't shot big heads on the Ohio River in a long time. Mm-hmm. But to get back out there and get on some big heads and silvers out there on the it's just a fun. I love the aspect of it. Like I said, it's complete darkness.
Yeah, you're hunting them down.
You can hear them kapoosh. You can hear them splashing and stuff. It's a lot of fun, and we had a great time. We got back really, not too bad. What time did we get back?
Okay, Matt always does this. So we traveled all day.
That's right.
Matt goes, it's going to be an early night. We'll be done by 11, 12 o'clock, get a good night's sleep,
Yep.
get up and at 'em for Tuesday morning. We got back to our little Airbnb.
Lance told me that it was going to be an early night because Gunnar had to work the next day.
Here comes the blame game. Always the blame game here.
It's always somebody else's fault.
Yeah.
Yep.
Lance said like 11:30 midnight, we'll call it quits. Because Gunnar was supposed to you had to be to work the next day.
Well, when you got out there on memory lane, you wouldn't go nowhere fast, man. I seen that quick. You were comfortable, so we just went with it.
That's right. I was very comfortable out there. Brought back a lot of great memories out there.
Well, and too, Matt, let me ask you this. When's the last time you were down shooting fish in Kentucky in mid to late August?
Never.
No. Okay.
This is the first time I've been here in August.
Yeah, because this is not a usual time frame that we're down here.
June. We always come down for the Jared Ashmore, and that no longer is going on. But we still came down in June this year. But remember, we got rained out. It was a washout. Kentucky beat us up in June.
This was the redemption tour.
This was a redemption tour. Yeah. Yep. All right, but let's get on to the. Okay, what do you got?
I was just going to say, I just wanted to build up to this point, man.
Okay.
Tuesday, we had some things that we had to do. We ran around Tuesday.
Yes.
What's today? Thursday?
Today is Thursday.
Today's Thursday.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to think. Tuesday, did we shoot fish Tuesday night?
Today is August 21st.
21st. What did
Yep.
we do Tuesday night? Today's Thursday.
Tuesday night, we chilled out.
We chilled out. We tried to shoot some silvers.
Yes.
Shot a couple of them. That was fun.
Yep. Storm came in. We had to get out the water.
Yesterday, we were on the water as well, trying to find some fish. Found a couple. Nothing too crazy.
Yep.
And I'll let you take it from there, leading into last night.
Last night was pretty epic.
Good night.
It was one of those nights that you'll never forget.
You remember forever.
You remember forever. We shot some very, very healthy big heads last night. And it was impressive, to say the least.
Yeah.
We had a great time. Derek, myself, were in a boat with Gunner. Lance and Dennis were in their boat. And it was one of those nights that you want to see.
Absolutely.
When you come down here.
And we started the night, we were trying to chase some buffs.
Right.
Too.
Yep.
And we found a couple fish, don't get me wrong. We
Right.
were shooting a couple buffs there, but then Gunner got a phone call. And Gunner hung up the phone and says, "We got to go."
Sometimes that's all it takes.
That was an order.
Yeah, that was an order, is right. And then, I believe Lance relayed that message to Dennis. Dennis called and says, "Now
Get over here.
get over here."
Yeah.
And
Yep.
we went down there.
And props to Dennis. He had a fish on the string while he made that phone call.
That's what he was telling us.
The fish wasn't even in the boat yet, and he done told you guys. Typically, I get the next day phone call.
So Dennis has a giant big head on. Did you take over then for him to call us then?
No, he was. Well, I did help him fight the fish. I grabbed the string for him for a small moment while he made the phone
So
call.
he's fighting the fish,
Yeah, the fish
calling us.
Yeah, it was within 10 seconds you guys got the phone call.
Wow.
That's impressive.
But we knew quick it was right. We done
Nice.
seen enough.
I knew pretty quick because he hung up. I knew he had something going on.
Yeah, because you said we had just got to our spot we were going to try it for buffs. We had literally just got to that bank over there, and we just maybe went 10 yards.
It wasn't very far. Then Dennis called and had to make the move.
Yep.
And when Gunner got the call and he hung up the phone, he says, "We got to go." I was up in the filming platform.
Yeah.
Matt turns around, looks up at me, he goes, Schmitty. You knew what the possibility was of what we were going to.
I did. I could hear Dennis talking to Gunner on the phone. I could hear him. He says, Dennis said, "Now," and he hung up. And that's when Gunner goes, "We got to go."
Yeah.
It's time.
It's time. And that was at a little before midnight, quarter to 12, I'd say that was it.
Yeah, I'd say so.
Yeah.
Yeah, real close.
Yep. We ran down there, and we were there till 5 in the morning. Mm-hmm. And first fish, Gunner and I tagged up on a stud.
Yes, it was a giant. 74.4.
Yes.
First fish of the night. That's a good way to start.
That's a good start right
It was
there.
an amazing start, but it got hectic as heck
Yes, it did.
on that fish. That fish went deep and took us around the trolling motor.
Oh, that's right.
We both had shot this fish. Went under the trolling motor. We did not do it, but we had the trolling motor at just barely turning. Barely turning. It broke your line. It tore your line, and we lifted the trolling motor up, and all your line was wrapped in the prop.
Yep.
Everywhere. So I'm fighting this fish. Gunner's like, "You got any tools?" I said, "Yeah, go back by the center console to the toolbox back there." And then there's a blue bag that has the wrenches and box wrenches in there.
Yep.
Because we needed to loosen that to get that prop off so you could get your line out of there so we could go back to chasing the big head down.
The whole time, this fish is down deep. We're having to lift the troller up, do surgery on it. There's a big fish on the line.
Yeah.
I'm filming. We're all trying to keep our wits together.
Yep.
We knew it was a good fish.
Yep. What happened, Gunner?
Leave it to me. Drop the wrench in.
I heard.
Yeah, that's not good.
And Gunner goes, "Oh boy."
He's out there. He goes, "I owe you a wrench."
So then we just told him just put everything down, go grab the other bow in the back, get it as a backup shot into it. So the cool thing is when we got that fish back in, we got your arrow back, which was kind of nice.
That was pretty interesting.
It was very interesting. One cool thing that I'd like to say on that is that 74-pound big head, those big heads have absolute giant cheekbones, and they are solid.
Yeah.
They're solid. I had my hooligan set at 50 pounds. I was shooting the AMS Anchor QT. That baby punched right through that gill plate.
Yeah, and you could hear on impact. You can see it in the footage too. When you shoot, I mean, it sounded like you hit a front shoulder on a deer. Is what
Right.
It sounded like
Right.
whack.
Right.
And we knew you hit him because of that noise,
Yes.
and the fish erupted as
Yep.
well. But you could hear that
Yep.
cheek plate.
But the cool thing about that, when we got that fish in the boat, we have it on video. I say, watch this, everybody. We got that fish up on the deck. 1 turn, 2 turn, 3 turns of the shafts. Yep. And I pulled that arrow and point right back out of that gill plate.
Yeah.
It's pretty impressive.
And you shot clear through the other side of that fish too. You punched through that cheek plate, and through
Right.
the other side.
Right.
You know, you were in them good.
Pretty impressive. Yep. So that was the first fish. A 74-pound fish was the first fish of the night. And it was just, 50s and 60s. You shot your biggest big head.
Oh, by far. I shot my biggest first, second, third, and fourth biggest big heads.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah. After you shot that big one, I got a bad case of the big head fever. We had a rough stretch there of Schmitty misses. But then we kind of got into a rhythm, and it just turned into we can't even portray it in words what we got to see last night, but it was
Right.
It was something that if you'd hear somebody talking about it, you kind of in the back of your head be like, was it really that good? Was it really that good? And it was
Yeah.
every bit as good
good.
as what we can try to portray through the mic here.
Lance told me, he goes, you said you were very happy that we were able to witness that,
Absolutely. Yeah.
to see what it's like.
Well, the last couple of years, we've shot some good fish, but you haven't got to see it yet.
Right.
You got to see it.
Right. Yep.
And it's a special moment.
I think it was 3 or 4 years ago, Lance, you and I were on the water. You and Dennis. Dennis shot a nice big head, and then I didn't shoot a fish that whole night until 4:30 in the morning. That was at 82 or something, 82 or 84 or something like that.
It was a good fish.
It's a good fish, but it was a long night.
Yeah.
Last night, every time you swiped your lights, there was fish. Multiple, right? It was unbelievable. It was just crazy. Now, the cool thing is, during all this commotion and everything, Gunner is over there, like, figuring out, okay, why are these... You're trying to learn what's going on here to keep in the back of your mind for tournament times and stuff. You're trying to figure things out here.
Absolutely. The more you can put in the bank, the better. That's for sure.
Right. Yep. And that's so true with anything that you're doing: fishing, hunting, shooting giant big heads. Mm-hmm. During that time, take a break. Look at things. Look at certain tools that you have.
Ask yourself why.
Right.
Ask yourself why.
There's always a reason.
Exactly.
There's always a reason.
Mm-hmm. And I really think that's what separates you guys right now from a lot of the other teams that are just getting into the big head thing. You guys have been studying. Lance, I know you just driving around and talking to you, the things that you think of are incredible.
Yeah.
And you're so far ahead of the game right now. And you're not stopping. You're not stopping, Lance.
Well, all of us as a team, I mean, every one of us, like
Right.
you seen last night, I mean, it's a lot of work.
Yeah.
And, I mean, we've been blessed to do it, but it's like anything. If you put the time in, you get rewarded.
Right.
And that's what's happened to us with time, and we've been blessed. And we still got to earn it. There's some competition out there. I mean,
Exactly.
these boys, they make you earn it. That's for sure.
And that's what, I was watching the weigh-ins at Worlds, and there was a team that came with a bunch of nice big heads.
Yeah.
A good sack of big heads.
Probably speaking of Zach Adams' team.
Yes. Yep.
Good. He's an upcoming team. Good
Exactly.
boy. Yep. They're putting their time in.
Right.
They're putting the grind in.
Putting the grind in. All right, let's take a talk about that.
That's a good segue right there.
Exactly. Let's
Perfect.
talk about that. All right, here's one of Lance's hats. 3%, we grind 97% harder. I've got one on. You've got one on. Schmitty's got the Megamouth hat on, but you did grab a Muddy Flats hat.
Yep.
He's been doing the 3% grind in a few days, though.
Yes, he has.
He has.
I saw it this morning big time when he got
He
up.
needs a tattoo.
Absolutely. I agree.
That'd be a good Kentucky trip when come home with the new tattoo.
Right,
3%
right.
on his shoulder.
Yep.
So, Lance, explain the 3%.
It's many things, really, but overall, you grind 97% harder. Statistically, you're going to end up at the top. I mean, you got to put a little play with that, but at the end of the day, it's work.
Yep. I love that saying. I love that motto. You have a Facebook page now, the 3%.
Yes, sir.
Also, you've got apparel, the 3%. I think it's cool stuff. I think it's just a really neat,
it's neat
perspective how to look at things.
Yep.
You got to grind.
Yep.
You got to grind. And you were grinding hard last night until we finally got the phone call. We were out playing with the buffs and stuff, and we had Lance. You need to go find us some big heads. But it's a grind, and like I said, I like that motto. You've used that a lot in the last couple of years.
Yep.
Take us back, Lance, to kind of like when you first started getting into the big head aspects of it. You didn't just come to tournaments and start winning. You weren't winning when you first started shooting tournaments, were you?
I think it was 3 years in. I want to say 3 years in before I won my first tournament.
Okay.
I mean, we had a couple competitive hit or miss type things that kept you going, but no, we took our tail kickings, that's for sure.
Yeah. Yep.
Many of them. Because I was shooting that at that time, there was a tournament every weekend.
Right.
And I was on board for all of them. I mean, it's a learning experience.
Yeah.
I mean, every time you show up, you may not, and I didn't care to lose because I had nothing to lose. I mean, you go to it, you have fun, you meet the people, you learn who's who, and you study them. You know, what are they doing different? How are they thinking? And with time, you'll start putting things together.
Right.
And then just time on water, you learn more and more. And it starts small, but once you get an eye for the small detail, it grows.
Yeah.
And, I mean, it's bad, really, because the average things that most people don't look at, your mind is just trained different. I mean, if we're at a tournament, we're looking at somebody's boots, and, we're looking at the little bitty clues. You can't even help it. Like, well, they're probably chasing buffs, or, used to, we'd walk to, it was back in, a few years ago, the buffalo were still pretty competitive. You'd walk around and kind of sneak over and see their boat. You see a buffalo scale, you're like, all right, these guys are chasing buffs tonight, And at that time, it's like, wonder why they're not chasing bigs. Is there a reason? And looking at all the variables, seeing if they know something you don't type thing. And it just starts small and grows. But we've had a great time with it, and that's with everybody on my team. These guys are, they're killers. They're tough.
Yep.
And they're definitely putting the work in, more than me here lately, I say that.
Right. Well, so speaking of teammates there, unfortunately, Noah Brewer is at work right now. He was unable to join us here, but another one of your great teammates. We can't leave out Noah.
Absolutely.
He does put in the grind.
Noah's sneaky. He may be out back right now. We don't know it. Noah stays in the shadow, man. He's sneaky.
You got to be like that.
You have to be.
You have to be like that sometimes. That's right. So we've had Lance on the podcast several times. We've talked to you. Great stories. Great talking with you. Well, let's look at the other teammate here, Gunnar Hagen. Gunnar just joined the team here a couple years back. Gunnar, give us a little background on yourself here. Where you grew up, where you're from, what you do, what you enjoy to do, Gunnar.
I live in Henderson, Kentucky. Been shooting with Lance and Noah this is my third season here.
Okay.
Wrapping up on the third season of fishing. It's been a good one, that's for sure.
Yeah, yep. How long have you been bow fishing, Gunnar?
My dad actually got me started down at the dams. We would start at bluegill fishing and had the big heads and silvers swimming by and didn't know what they was and decided to buy bows. And that's
how old are you at this time?
I was probably 12 or 13.
Okay.
When that started.
All right.
That's what got me started. Yep.
So you ran to the local archery shop or somewhere and bought some gear?
Yep, we went and bought bows that week and went back the next weekend, and while we was fishing, started shooting the big heads and the silvers. And,
no kidding.
Yep, that's where it all began.
Wow.
In the daytime.
Wow. And how old are you now, Gunnar?
27.
27. All right. So before you joined up with Lance, this team right here, did you shoot in other tournaments before that and stuff like that?
Yeah, I've been shooting tournaments for several years before I started shooting with Lance. Have had a few different teams and did pretty good. Did pretty good in some of the tournaments, and about like Lance, hit or miss. But once we put this team together here, and pretty good bond, and rode on with it, been pretty good success.
Good. So, how did this?
I was just going to ask.
Yeah,
Lance, what was the draw to Gunner? Did you guys have a relationship previously? What eventually led to you guys being on the same team here and having a dominant run here as of late?
I've known Gunner for a while, but at the end of the day, he was getting too good.
That's good. Yep.
He was sneaking around a lot of places. we put eyes on him, and at that time, he had a tiller or a mud motor boat, so it was pretty easy to spot. And that mud motor was going around a lot of good places. But we already knew each other, and he kind of took my place on the old team that I shot with.
Oh, okay.
And they were getting a little more hit or miss. They got into crappie fishing, and Gunner was pretty serious about it. And I actually called, I guess you'd say the captain of their team, a friend of mine, Brady Wright, and I said, hey, man, we're needing another guy bad. I know you are kind of hit or miss right now. Do you mind if I take Gunner? And he's like, no, go ahead. And so
nice.
It worked out good and no regrets. I mean,
nice.
we've all – and it's hard, when you have a team and you put that next guy, one guy can change everything. Mm-hmm. So you got to be pretty picky about it. Mm-hmm. And that being said, I mean, Waddell was shooting with us at the time, and I hadn't really spoke about Waddell. He went into bass fishing. The nightlife was getting a little tougher. He's got family and stuff.
Right.
And his work schedule, he didn't have the freedom, so it made more sense to him. But he was another great one. Yep. We all flowed very well. Mm-hmm. But anyhow, Gunner was grinding hard. I said, we seen it. You're out there a lot. You know who's on the water, and we knew he was coming, and he was at some good areas. So.
Nice.
And we already knew him well enough to know we trusted him. We knew he wasn't a guy that would. We felt like he'd do us right, and he did.
Mm-hmm. And that was one of the big things I wanted to ask you is you have to have that trust factor.
Absolutely.
Because, back home and you see it in other places, so many other shooters shoot with other teams.
Yep.
In this tournament, they're shooting together. In this other tournament, they're all mixed up when you got other shooters on the team.
Now everyone's spots are shared across. There's no secrets anymore.
They become communities whole.
Yep. And I really learned or kind of figured out to have a consistent team that's consistent in winning and doing well in tournaments, you have to be a team all the time. Gunner, you can't go out next weekend and shoot with a couple other guys. You can. In some smaller tournaments and have a good time and go out and try to shoot some buff somewhere or something like that. But Lance would probably trust you enough to know that you're not going to take those people to those other spots. Where in other cases, I think people just go wherever they want and kind of ruin spots that way. And I learned that years back when I met Dennis Redden, and it was Dennis, Jeremiah, and Damien, and it was those three.
Yeah,
and they were a very good team, And I just luckily they allowed me to slip into that little group of those guys, and I learned a ton from those guys. But it took Dennis a long time to trust me to start taking me to some of their good buff holes and stuff like that.
Absolutely.
It took a long time for that.
You know what, though? Old Northern boy brings some Southern boys some cheese curds. There's no telling what they're going to let you do.
That is true.
That is true. Yes, that is true. Yep.
So with that being said, Lance, what's the story then with Noah? How was that brought together to have you guys end up on the team together now?
Yeah. Well, Noah was when I went on my own. I just kind of wanted to do things different. I had a little different vision, and nothing against my old team. They were a great team, and I learned a lot from them. But when I left, I mean, like you talked about spots, I mean, I never went back to those areas. And, I mean, a few of them I had found too, but we just stayed away. I mean, I started fresh. But I started accumulating a few.
Tough to do that?
Very tough.
Yeah.
It's restarting.
I bet.
It's restarting. But at the same time, I mean, I learned a lot from them, so it equaled out. You know, I mean, nobody wants to hop teams, but for me at that time, it felt like the thing to do, and that's what I did. And Noah, I already had my eyes on Gunner, and then Gunner gets taken. He ends up taking my spot, actually.
Really?
So, he was on my mind then.
Yeah.
But him and Brady, Gunner's a big waterfowl guy. Brady, the guy I used to shoot with, he's a big waterfowl guy, so they kind of hit it off on that, and it went to the bow fishing. But anyhow, it all worked out at the end. But as far as Noah, I actually tracked a deer for Noah, but I've been stalking him on Facebook, and I knew he was shooting a lot of good river fish. And man, when I tracked the deer for him, I knew quick he wasn't average. I mean, he didn't. usually a younger boy, when you start asking them about big heads, they want to start showing you pictures and bragging a little bit. I was going to see what I could gather from him, but I didn't gather nothing.
Okay.
He stayed quiet, and, I mean, he talked to me, but I knew, I was like, man, this boy right here, he's kind of what I'm looking for. And, man, he was spot on. I mean, and Noah's very good. We run a lot of the Ohio River then. He had his spots, and he didn't exaggerate nothing. And when we started shooting together, we kind of clicked right out of the gate. And, man, we actually, the late game, I was a little more advanced on, but once he seen a few Lakers, then that's where he wanted to be too, and chasing the upper scale fish. And, and, man, we just started finding more spots together and learning together, and it kind of went from there. And we finally accumulated enough stuff to be competitive. But 2-man team and these size fish, we was losing by 15 pounds or a fish short. Like, man, we got to have another guy.
Right.
And that's when Waddell came, and Waddell and Gunner had a good relationship, and that team was kind of slowing down, doing more crappie stuff. So he's out grinding water and don't really have a team really wanting to compete that much at the time. And so I was like, man, and Waddell had mentioned Gunner a few times, and we were getting more spots. We needed more boats to run, and it just I ended up talking to him, right? Like I said, I talked to Brady first, and he was cool with it, and we threw him on the team and went from there.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Let's look back at this past season.
I was going to say, let's get a rundown here.
Let's take a look at this past season here. But let's get into that after this commercial break.
Efficiency Bowfishing Lights by Outdoor Innovations USA. A color tone adjustable and dimmable light with a unique patented reflector design that puts more light where you need it. Efficiency Bowfishing Lights offer 3 different models: the 65-watt single-color economy light, the 65-watt Efficiency V2 tricolor dimmable light for maximum efficiency and versatility, and the 130-watt Efficiency Maximus, designed to be an all-out beast of a bowfishing light. Efficiency, designed and built by bowfishermen for bowfishermen. Check them out at OutdoorInnovationsUSA.com. Have you found yourself wishing you could relive your bowfishing experiences out on the water? Introducing the Mag Pro H2O by Painted Arrow, the world's first magnetic smartphone mount designed specifically for bowfishing. The H2O is a universal mount that attaches to the front of any bowfishing boat. The mount will work with any smartphone by placing the Painted Arrow phone plate on the back side of your phone case. The H2O design features an integrated rubber security strap to ensure your phone doesn't fall off the mount when in action. Filming your experiences on the water has never been easier. To pick up your H2O mount or to learn more, please visit paintedarrow.com, and don't forget to relive the catch. Use code AMS15 for 15% off your next order. Are you looking to elevate your bowfishing brand with stunning design solutions? Look no further than N Designs. Their team of talented designers is dedicated to bringing your vision to life. Whether it's t-shirts, hats, leather products, eye-catching logos, to captivating boat wraps, they have you covered. Plus, with their commitment to excellence and attention to detail, you can trust that your project is in good hands. Don't settle for ordinary. Choose N Designs for extraordinary results. Visit their website today and let's bring your ideas to life. N Designs, where creativity meets excellence.
And welcome back, everybody. Episode 108. We think it's episode 108.
We think it is.
Of the Bowfishing Buzz podcast.
That's right.
Brought to you by AMS Bowfishing and Megamouth Bowfishing as well. Obviously, we got Lance and Gunner here. One thing I wanted to ask you guys. You guys have had a crazy 2025 tournament season so far. Let's go back in time. What was the first tournament that you guys shot this year? And then just walk us through all of those big tournaments, how you guys did so far this year.
Mm-hmm.
I guess the first one was the U.S. Open this year.
Yeah.
And that was a rough start.
Yeah.
It ended up better than we thought, but the fish were hitting.
And where was that one located at?
That was out of Decatur. It was Memphis.
Yep. That was at the Pyramid, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was at the Pyramid.
Okay.
And by the way, JP done a great job. Chuck Belmore, all them guys. I mean, that was a well-hosted tournament. It was a good turnout.
Nice.
Pretty cool deal. But that week scouting, man, I mean, it was a lot of hard decisions because we had multiple fish found, not a whole lot anywhere. We ran a lot of water that was blank, and we had 2 different averages that wasn't close enough together to get to. You know, you couldn't be A and B, so you kind of had to weigh out your options.
Right.
And we actually chose, and still to this day, we don't know if it was the best decision or not, but we chose a kind of what we thought would be a safety, less of a bigger average. and it wasn't as safe as we thought.
Oh, okay.
We thought we had enough fish found that we would have had a good solid 20 fish. And if they would have been there the way they should have been, we would have been pretty competitive a little bit. You know, I mean, we ended up third, but we may have done a little better if it would have worked out, which I'm sure plenty of other people can say that. But anyhow, that was it's still one that haunts you because you wonder, like, man, those other fish, I wonder if they were up or not.
Right? Yeah, you always wonder.
You always wonder.
Always wonder.
And you're like, man, you try to make the best decision off. We play statistics and averages and odds, basically.
Yeah.
And it was pretty close. I mean, it wasn't one of them that just said, that's what we need to do. And so, I mean, don't get me wrong, third at the U.S. Open, we're tickled to death about that.
Yeah.
But we still wonder, you know, what could have happened.
Mm-hmm. You said something that I want to touch on, Lance. You said we covered a lot of water that was bare.
Yep.
Gunner, last night you brought up something about water.
Yep.
That there's nothing on.
Yeah, we were discussing last night a little bit just the, you know, the grind of going through and scouting for these tournaments. You want to run us through what you said last night, Gunner? Because I remember when you said it, I'm like, that is just such a solid team mindset to go off of.
Oh yeah, absolutely. The person that don't find any fish is just as important as the person that does find the fish. You know, because that tells you where not to go.
Exactly. Exactly.
Yeah.
It's a big plus. You know, even if you don't find them. So.
Exactly. You know where not to go.
That's
don't
right.
pay to go to those spots then.
That's right.
It's just as important. Exactly.
That's where the team kicks in. You know, one person might find the fish, and that's what you got to go with. But where the other two's been, you know not to go back.
Right.
Yeah. Yep. Crossing off water.
And that's something else. I mean, we have enough trust. I mean, anybody can miss fish. Sometimes you can miss these fish by 20 feet. I mean, if they're not making noise, I mean, it's hard. So, I mean, but we have all confidence in every player on the team. Yeah. I mean, typically they know what to look for. And we've done it enough that, you know, usually if they're in an area, we're pretty good at finding them. But, you know, if someone don't, hey, we mark it off. We know that's not hot right now. So they may give us an idea that we look for something different until we once somebody hits, then we can all kind of regroup, you know.
Right.
And that's a big thing for sure. And and not competing with your teammates. I mean, you hear guys, did you ever hear a team talking about, I'm the best shot on the boat, or he missed, or I done that? You're working against each other.
That team's not going to be together for long.
Absolutely. I will duck and he can shoot over my back if it takes to shoot a fish. It doesn't matter who puts the arrow in it.
Right.
It's the team that brings them
Yep.
in.
And Gunner, you said that last night. You'll be at a tournament there, and somebody come and go, well, who shot that one?
Absolutely.
And what do you say?
Don't know. You know, just you get in that grind and getting the fish in the boat. That's all you're really focused on. You don't, like Lance said, you don't really know who's getting what. As long as they're coming in the boat, we're doing good.
Right.
Yep. And you can't be afraid to back up. Like I had a couple of spells this year where I'm going to shoot last, or I'm going to be out of the way because, I know during the Muzzy, he was on fire.
Yeah.
I had a hard time on Deep Buffalo, and he was drilling. We put him in the hot seat.
Exactly.
And I mean, you can't have an ego if you want to compete against everyone else.
So, first tournament of the year was the U.S. Open. After that, you jump down to the Muzzy Classic, I believe, is the next one on the line.
Yep.
So let's jump back to the U.S. Open. Big heads is what you guys weighed in.
Yep.
Right. Okay, let's move forward now to the Muzzy Classic, which was down in Gunnersville, Alabama this year.
Yep.
You guys go out. How'd that go for you guys?
We had second place. And
Okay.
we ended up, and man, we had a blast. we had a blast.
That's good.
It was fun changing it up. We love hunting big heads, but the buff game is fun too. And we kind of learned from our mistakes the previous year. We kind of had a different mindset on how we wanted to play the game.
Yeah.
And it wasn't that it didn't work. We just fell a little short. We needed a couple kicker fish, but Team descaling, and they're a great team, well-rounded. Yep. Buffalo, they're very good at strategy and odds, and they got us.
Yeah.
I mean, I give them credit. They're a tough team, and we were there wanting to beat them. I'm not gonna lie. They've been on a good streak, and they broke several bars, so we want to try to give it back. But we fell a little short. But man, we had a blast that tournament. We shot a lot of fish, shot at a lot of fish, and had a good time.
Yeah, I think we had you on after that tournament, and you said you guys, because I asked you a question, I think. Were you getting fish early or late? And you said, we were in them all night long.
Yeah.
You guys had a good time.
We did.
Yeah.
We did.
Yeah, so that's awesome. You guys down there doing that, chasing those buffs. That's really cool. So second place finish, correct, at the Muzzy Classic?
Yes, sir.
Now let's move on. What was the next big tournament that you guys had?
That would be
the Worlds.
Worlds.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
And right up here, we got some bling bling from the world. We got the belt buckles right here from a couple years, and this year's right here. That's pretty awesome.
Yep. That was a very epic night.
Yeah, and that was in Decatur, Alabama.
Yep.
That was on a Friday night. How do you guys like the Friday night tournament thing? How do you like the Friday night deal?
It felt good on Monday. I tell you.
Did it?
It felt good on Monday. I know. I mean, with us, it was bad. I'll say that. And I know a lot of people. I mean, there's kind of mixed emotions there because some people can't take off work and it kind of burns another day. But I understand that part of it too. But for us, or for me personally, it wasn't bad. It felt pretty good to get home a little early and start the work week back at a day with a day of rest.
Right. So Decatur, Alabama, that was a kind of like a no holds barred tournament. You could go wherever you wanted to, longer hours. Leading up to that, a lot of chit chat.
Oh, crazy.
On social media.
There was.
A lot of chit chat about
that format.
The format. They wanted to change it right before the end. They wanted to change some rules and stuff like that. Did you guys see that? Did you guys see the chit chat?
Yeah. We had a lot of it coming to us. A lot of people kind of, if it affects us, you know how it is. You always got a friend that wants to call or kind of get you worked up a little bit.
Do you like the chit chat?
I mean, it's motivation, I guess you could say. If it's not in your favor, you just try to give it back in your own way, I guess you could say. I mean, it don't really matter. And at the end of the day, I mean, we're going to do what we do. And, I mean, it's, a lot of it's the big head talk. 'Cause it's something that's came a little different. I mean, they're good-sized fish, and they're different. They're not as, I mean, you have to spend the time to learn these fish, and that's kind of got a few people riled up. And I think with time, a lot of people will learn if they put the time in and go start chasing them, and they already have. It's a crazy amount of people that are adapting to these fish, and they're having a ball.
Right.
You take old school guys, and I get it. I mean, I can see where someone has done their own thing. It's worked. They've been successful. Then they gotta make that decision really to step back, and that's a hard thing to do when you've been that competitive, to relearn something and to be able to show up and kind of fall back in line and then have to restart.
Right.
So I think it was a hard thing for a few of them, but now that they're starting to adapt and doing very well at it, they're loving it.
Yeah.
Not all of them, but I get a lot of phone calls that guys are like, man, this is a blast. I mean, everybody loves shooting big fish, and once they find a few of them, that's when they get their payday. And
that's cool.
And anything you got to work for, you respect a little more, and I think that's what these guys are doing. I mean, to be successful to begin with, they're grinders. I mean, it's work ethic, and they were already competitive, so they had that part.
Yeah.
They just had to put it at a different direction, and now that they have, it's pretty cool to see the amount of people that's excited about chasing a different fish and relearning the game.
That's cool.
And I think, I mean, it basically rejuiced them. I mean, it's something new to them, and it's pretty cool to see.
Right, and I was watching the weigh-ins on that Saturday morning, and it was our last podcast. We had Tommy Woods on,
and it's actually funny that just the way you were talking about that, Lance.
Right.
The title of the podcast was "Adapt or Die,"
right?
And that is so true in all aspects of life, but especially in bow fishing. You gotta evolve with the sport to stay competitive, year after year.
Right. And it was great to see Tommy and their whole team come through with big heads. And I told Tommy that was awesome to see that.
Absolutely. Did a great job, too.
Absolutely did.
The hard work showing.
And the other team there, Zach Adams, coming with all those big heads. It's great to see that.
It's awesome.
It
is.
One thing that I think is really a neat object for the bow fishing community when dealing with people that are targeting big heads is nobody knows we're out there. The neighbors, the landowners that have some pretty big say in some of these bigger areas, bigger bodies of water, they don't know yet you're even out there,
No clue.
Yeah, you might see some light shining out there and stuff like that there, but they don't know what those little lights are out there, looking for fish.
No noise.
No noise.
Generators, no airboats.
Right. Yeah, it makes a big difference.
There's going to be a time that we can tell all of our stories, and it's going to be pretty entertaining.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
We've had some pretty fun times, I'll say that.
And like Tommy did say, he says, it's a little boring,
Yeah.
versus running and gunning for grassies and stuff like that there. Now, yeah, I get that. It's a good time doing that stuff too.
Sure.
And like I said, that night I went with you. I didn't shoot a fish till 4:30 in the morning, and I was my feet were killing me. My ankles were killing me standing that whole night on the water, on the deck,
Yeah.
But when you hit them, it's good. But that is so true because, nobody knows that you're out there. I think it's kind of a good thing for bow fishing.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So you guys finish in first place.
We did.
You come through Wayne's. How are you feeling coming back to Wayne's? You get any phone calls? Because I know in the past, we call we're texting you, how'd you guys do, and how'd you guys do, and phone calls like that.
You know how it is. You always have some players that you're worried about.
Yep.
It starts slowly coming in. We feel, and we always say the same thing. When we accomplish what we went to do, win or lose, we usually look at we usually kind of look at what we got and we're like, well, we're not going to look like chumps anyway. And that's the best way to look at it. Because, you can get humbled quick at this game.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of big fish been surfacing and new guys are bringing them in. So you never know. But we knew we had a good stack and we felt good about it. We felt like we'd be towards the front. And that's something.
Towards the front?
Yeah,
dude, you had over 1,000 pounds.
Yeah, you never know these days. You never know. But my personal goal has been to finish top 3.
Okay.
And that's the biggest accomplishment for me is we've done that for 3 years. And we may not do it again, but I can say we've done it for 3 years straight.
Nice.
And that's consistency and that's, to me, that's a big deal.
Yeah.
We're mainly shooting big tournaments now, 100 boat tournaments. If you can stay towards the front, I reached that goal.
Well, after the 100-team tournament, you're wanting to finish the top 3. That's the top 3%.
That's the 3%. And that's kind of what's been in the head. You don't want to say it and then strike out. But, statistically, do you play the game? And, we've been blessed to do what we've done, and we've stayed in that top 3. And like I said, it may not happen again for 2 years. Who knows? But it's pretty cool to be able to look back and say we've done it.
Yep. Not only did you win the 2025 BAA Worlds, you also won the 2024 BAA Worlds. So back-to-back BAA champions right here. Team AMS, on track. Lance Brantley, Gunnar Hagen, Noah Brewer, David Waddell last year.
Yep.
That's impressive.
It's amazing.
Yeah. What was your total weight again for the Worlds?
This year?
Yeah.
1,006 pounds.
I believe so. It was a little over 1,000 pound. Yep.
Wow.
Yeah.
1,000.
4 digits.
Oh.
And that was that broke Tommy's record.
Nice.
And the first guy that came to me, and I didn't even realize we had done it yet. I'm sitting there dumbfounded, to be honest. Tommy was the first guy that shook my hand.
Yeah.
And that's pretty respectful.
Absolutely.
And we didn't get him by much, so we can say we got him. And that's respect to him, because that's a heck of a load.
Yeah.
And we were blessed to do what we've done. Especially during, we've had those nights outside of tournaments that you could have done really good, but they have to line up on tournament night. That's the hard part.
Right.
Any time to put the fish in the boat on tournament night, and to have 2 back-to-back worlds like that, that was
that's good. That's impressive.
It was 2 epic nights. I say that.
One thing that I always, Tommy Woods is amazing. Their team is an amazing team. They dominate. They dominated for a long time. They've had some great runs in there. A lot of respect for Tommy and those guys. Shorty,
Great guys.
Great guys. That year they won us. They beat us in the Muzzy Classic by a couple pounds there. Respect for each one, each one of us, handshakes, congratulations, great job, and that's what you have to. You can't go home pouting.
Sure.
Yeah, you feel bad, but you still got to hold your head up and appreciate what the other team accomplished.
And we've talked about that. Like when we get beat, we shake their hands with respect because they earned it, because we gave it all we had.
Exactly.
And that's what I think anyone that once you kind of get to that level and you think about both sides, you have to have respect for the guys that beat you.
You do. Yep.
Because they're putting their work in, and like Plug Uglies at the U.S. Open this year. They had a great stack of grassies, and I got to hear a little on the inside. Them guys put their work in, man. They are moving. They're from a long ways from home, and they're out. They're running their tail off just like we are. It's a little different style, but it's all for the same game, and they they brought their A game on that one.
That's right.
They had
it's
a stack.
impressive.
Yeah, very impressive.
So right after the Worlds, you had maybe a week off, and then you're back to scouting for the Cajun 8, which was the first week in August.
There was no time off.
There was no time off.
Back to back.
It was back-to-back grind, son. It was tough. And I did have to take a little time for work, but I think Gunner went 2 weeks straight.
Wow.
And Noah started, he scouted there before the Worlds and then went straight from that, took his vacation. He had to kind of time his stuff out and went straight into scouting. And so there was a lot of work involved.
Oh, yep. Different waters.
Different waters.
From the Worlds to the Cajun 8.
Oh, yeah.
You're shooting different waters.
Yep.
What are you scouting wise now? You got to refocus now because you're back to the grind again for the Cajun 8. How is scouting going for you guys?
Well, you guys started it off. You can tell more about that, Gunner.
It's going pretty good. Finding fish all week, kept moving, dropping pins and putting together plans. And that way tournament night we'd have A, B, C, and D, and we could roll on with it. And if one failed, we'd have a backup to go to.
You ever get frustrated out there on the water at nighttime, Gunner?
Oh, no.
No.
Nope. Can't
Okay.
get frustrated.
All right.
When you get frustrated, that's when you start beating yourself up,
Okay.
as yourself and the team.
Mm-hmm.
Keep a positive mind and keep pushing,
I like it.
keep bouncing the plans.
I like it. Mm-hmm.
Some nights you might not get a fish in the boat till 12 or 1 o'clock, but the plan. If you stick to it, a lot of times it'll pull through for you.
Yep.
And that's like when I came in on Wednesday night of that week. And I don't think I found fish it was towards the end of it. And, man, it was when I found them, it was almost breaking daylight.
Wow.
And you do that enough, like, if you keep pushing, law average, eventually you may find something. And we've done it enough that it's built our confidence up that you just don't stop. Mm-hmm. And so you don't ever really get frustrated. You've had enough of the moments that you pulled through that you're like, phew.
Yeah.
And the Worlds was one of them. We kind of had a roller coaster ride of a week going into the Worlds and seen some absolute giant fish. Gunner had found some really good fish, and they moved, like big heads do. And it was kind of a roller coaster of a week, and it worked out towards the end. But it was one of them you just got to keep moving.
Mm-hmm. So tournament day, Cajun tournament, feeling good?
Yeah. We felt pretty
Feel
decent.
confident and stuff? Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Come back to weigh-ins. Now that's a big 8 versus your normal, your usual big 20s and stuff. So you're looking for 8 big fish. What did you guys weigh in for the Cajun?
Right at a 59-pound, 58-pound average, 59.
59-pound
Yeah,
average?
we were right at 50. I think it was 58 or 59.
Wow.
Had one really good fish and then just solid fish behind it.
Wow. What was your big fish?
We had two solid fish. We had a 76 or 8.
Wow.
Yeah, something like that.
Wow.
Yeah,
70s.
we did take big fish. I want to say it was 76, but
Okay.
I can't remember. Man, that back-to-back tournament was such a blur. It all kind of runs together. But I know we had 2 over 70.
Wow.
And that really helped. And then just solid fish, 50 plus behind it. So it was another one of those epic nights. We've been very blessed.
Wow. So a third place finish at the U.S. Open, second place finish at the Muzzy Classic, first place BA Worlds, first place the Cajun 8.
Yes, sir.
That's a hell of a season, you guys.
Hit the applause button.
That's
yeah.
that is a heck of a season. there.
Absolutely. Dominant.
Yep.
Just from hearing you guys talk, I got a question for you, just out of my own genuine curiosity. When you're marching into one of these big tournaments, you've spent all week scouting, using all the knowledge that you've learned from previous tournaments, previous years. How many different options do you guys, on average, roll into a tournament night with? Do you guys have option A, B, C, A, B, C, D, E, F, G? On average, roughly how many spots do you have that you can go to?
Like to have 3 or 4 at least.
3 or
try to.
4,
I mean,
okay.
that's all the tournament depending, some time of the year, and sometimes you have that availability and sometimes you don't.
Right.
Sometimes you have to go big or go home. Sometimes you're able to have 3 or 4 options, 5 options.
I'm going to say on average, at least 2. Typically, we've been blessed enough to do that, and that's a lot of water ran for the last few years to kind of put that together. and they move, but we've kind of learned what to target. I guess that helped us.
Yeah.
So when you got an idea of what, there's a lot of water, and it's overwhelming when you first start going out there, and you're like, ah, dang. Somebody they can tell you the lake it is, but if it's huge, you know, I mean, it's like, and they're so easy to miss, it's overwhelming, but you learn a little bit, and you start, it accumulates, and you're able to basically write off a lot of water.
Yeah.
You kind of have an idea where to look, and we've been blessed to do that, so we usually have at least a plan A and B.
Yeah.
And it's worked so far. I
Sure.
say that.
So if you're going to a new body of water to scout, you already kind of have an idea of looking at those maps of those rivers or lakes and stuff like that there, and kind of have an idea already what you need to look for from all your experience that you have accumulated, throughout all these years. Is that correct to say?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Normally talk about it as a team, together. Mm-hmm. Cross out the do's and the don'ts, possibly, what we need to check, what we don't need to check, make that team decision and, make our split. After a night or two, kind of regroup, get everybody, what everybody's seeing, our opinion on everything, and might have to adjust on it, or if it's working good, we'll keep rolling with what we're doing.
Nice.
Gotcha.
Nice.
So I got one other question I want to ask here, Matt.
Yep.
It's probably going to be the most serious question that we've asked.
This is going to be a funny question. I got
this little forum. I was wondering the last couple nights. It's been something that I've thought about a lot with you guys out on the water doing what you do. To keep Team AMS rocking and rolling, what types of snacks and drinks are brought out onto the boat during a tournament night? I'm
C4 and a beef stick most of the time.
C4 and a beef stick. That's what I'm talking about.
And that's not dynamite, folks.
Yeah.
The old C4
energy drink.
I'm afraid so. It's probably they should sponsor us, honestly.
They should, yes. Yep.
C4 and the beef jerky.
For a gunner, too? Same thing? All right.
Yeah.
No little Debbies or no little candies or anything?
We don't have time for that.
Mostly, yeah. Getting after it pretty good.
Protein and energy. That's all you need.
Yeah.
Normally keep some chips in the truck.
You got to have that for the ride back to weigh-ins.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So you've been with AMS. You've been on the pro staff for a couple of years here now, several years there now. Doing quite well. Why?
The products. And people.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we built a relationship with you guys, and a lot of people don't realize behind the scenes things ain't always what everybody thinks. And you guys have been nothing but supportive, and the products are. I mean, we were shooting AMS before we ever put the shirt on.
Yeah.
I mean, the bottle reels fit our script to a T. Mega Mouth too. We actually shot the Mega Mouth on the buffs this year.
Yep.
We've been a bottle reel guy, I guess, since the team has been formed. But, man, that Mega Mouth on that, I mean, they both have their pros and cons, and we really liked it on the buffs this year.
Nice. Why do you like the retrievers so much when you're shooting these big heads? The size that you're shooting? Why?
I mean, for one, there's less room for error. They're hard to beat. I mean, there's people that shot one bottle reel their whole life.
Yeah.
I mean, they're tough. Mm-hmm. I mean, obviously in a tournament scenario, you don't have time for anything to malfunction. So that's one reason. But personally, I like grabbing that line too. I mean, it when you have that string in your hand, it tells you a lot about the shot placement. If your tail shot, you can feel it. If you got a good solid lug, usually front end shot. And you can kind of tell, like you can even feel it sometimes if the arrow's sliding out. You're going to give them a less, restriction and let them just tire out a little more. Mm-hmm. So to me, the AMS bottle is hard to beat on those upper scale big heads. And don't get me wrong, the Mega Mouth with you can adjust your drag. And that's not everybody wants to grab the line.
Right.
But I do suggest something that has the stainless steel gears and has a little bulletproof to it because they're going to need it.
Right.
Yep.
And I want to ask you about that, Derek.
Yeah. Yep.
You shot some 60-pound fish last night.
Yeah.
With the Mega Mouth.
Yep.
We got some great footage of that.
Yeah.
And how was that? Because I when I come down here and shoot the big heads, I'm shooting the retrievers.
Yep.
Yep. Same reason why Lance said that. I like to feel that. You can feel if your arrow is starting to tear out of that fish. You can feel that.
Absolutely.
Right. Like Lance said, you can feel that tail shot. You can feel that going back and forth on the line. You can feel that stuff.
Yeah.
How was it last night shooting the Mega Mouth there?
Well, see, one thing, let me begin with this. Back home when we're shooting the Mega Mouth, with me working on the mega models and knowing the inner working of that reel. When we're back home shooting buffs and commons, I try to break the damn thing. I got that drag as tight as it can possibly go. Ask Matt, I've almost hit him in the head 10 times with a cam on a bull because I'm ripping as fast as I can just to see the capabilities of that reel. Can't do that. Can't do that on these fish.
Yeah.
So that was something, typically back home if we get into a big fish, the drag system on the reel is great, but if I shoot a big fish and I got my drag tight back home, I'll just let go of my T-bar, let that fish take line. Then when it's my turn, I crank him in and we get him in the boat that way.
Yep.
Last night shooting these big heads with the megamouth, one of the things that I had to get very tuned into, and it was good to do that, was adjusting that drag system on there. I had my drag system, when I'm shooting those fish, my drag system was on as loose as it could go. Let that fish do what it wants to. You could see it was like a tip of a fishing pole, my torque rod. Going up, down, staying down when that fish would want to run. And then typically when I felt like it was my turn to make some headway, I moved that drag straight up and down. I never had it completely locked down like I would 100% of the time at home. That allowed me to get that fish up a little bit easier, but at the same time, if he was going to make a run and dive 20 feet in 3 seconds, he could still take some drag out of there. I did notice that you guys were probably able to get those fish into the boat faster doing it hand over hand, but that drag system, I was very impressed with that reel, being able to control those fish.
It was very, very fun to watch the fight versus how I'm used to doing it on big heads, and how to do that fight with the megamouth on some big, big fish. Powerful fish. It's like a tugboat down there.
It is. I kept saying it's like I just got snagged on a semi-truck down there. That's what it feels like. And one of the things, too, that we're always trying to tell people, and this is the best, most efficient way to use a megamouth reel. You do it just like a fishing pole. You pull back on that T-bar, and you pull, and then you reel down your slack line. If you sit there, especially on these fish, when you've got your drag, that fish can take some drag. If you sit there with your T-bar pulled back and you just stationary, you just keep reeling, that fish is just going to keep – you're not going to make any headway. You've got to do that pull and reel aspect of things. And really, that's the best way to do it, no matter what game you're chasing. So it was very cool to see the two different variations of how we were bringing those fish into the boat.
I want to ask you this too, Derek.
Yes, sir.
You have never experienced this type of fish caliber and the big head. You shot some giant buffs. But you never experienced the giant big heads.
No, nothing even close to it.
What was that like last night? I shot the first one, then we switched cameras, and it was my turn to film, and you got up there. How are you feeling? It was exciting. It was cool.
Well, we were
in big fish,
right? So we went from chasing those buffs last night to begin with, which we're familiar with doing that. We do that a lot back home. We do it a lot when we come down here,
right?
Then obviously we got the infamous phone call, and we went over, and Gunner was up in the front of the boat, and we were rolled in. We cut the outboard off, and 10 seconds later, we were seeing your big fish.
Yeah.
When I saw that fish in the light, it was like a second of, oh, my God. We had been shooting them big heads a couple nights prior, and this fish, when it lit up, it was like, what the hell is that? What is that thing? It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
And then when we flipped, there was some nerves at play.
Was there?
To be honest with you.
Was there?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
You just brought in a semi-truck of a fish.
Yeah.
And I'm up there, and it took me, you guys saw it, a good amount of shots to finally get somewhat dialed in to those fish. I was shooting a foot high on those fish, 6 inches high on those fish.
No, let me cut in here, Derek, on that, because you said the other night when we were in the Ohio River shooting, you said, man, Gunner's, he's a heck of a shot on these. I said, Derek, you have to remember, when back home, we're shooting with all of our lights on. We can see what we're shooting at as it's swimming away or if it's coming at us. We can see that. We have a little bit of time. Here, it's complete darkness.
Yeah.
You swipe your Spec Ops light, there's a fish.
Yeah.
Now you got to draw back and shoot quick.
Yep.
It's a little different style. I mean, shooting in complete darkness with a little beam of light going out on a target is a lot different than your normal bow fishing, and it's hard to get used to that at first.
Yeah, especially when that beam of light is not necessarily coming off your bow. If there's someone else is shining with that light and they run across it and whatever the deal might be, and now you're using your light to shoot it, there's just a little bit of a different feel to it when you're doing it. But it was an absolute blast. And like I said, I was just kind of sitting there, and a couple times last night, you just look at me and we just fist bumped, and like we didn't even need to say words.
Right.
It was just like, this is something that not many people get to witness.
Right.
This is absolutely insane.
My saddest part about shooting the size fish that we shot last night, you can't make them. You can't show the size of those fish in pictures.
No, I know.
You can't.
Can't. You can make a 30 fish look bigger than them.
Absolutely.
We just said that.
Exactly.
Yeah, you can make a 30-pound comment
Exactly.
look 50.
There's no long arm in these fish.
I'm looking.
Unless you're very strong.
Right.
Yeah.
You can't hold them. They fall back on you. They fall forward this way. You can't get the girth because when you hold the belly up, it picks up the belly, so you don't get that big droop in there. Mm-hmm. You can't get the girth, the girth on the backs. You can't get that cheekbone. When you're taking pictures of me, I'm looking at the pictures, I'm like, that's like a 30-pound, and it's 72 pounds or 74, whatever it was.
Yep.
And the tail, at the end of the tail is,
Yeah.
Did you see my 3% tip on how to hold one?
no.
Oh, yeah, see it on the page. But I done that as a joke, but it is funny because all these new guys that are shooting these giant big heads, they're not really easy to handle.
No.
So I done a little tip of the day showing them where to hold, place the hand type thing. Kind of just a little bit joke, but it's not at the same time because if you go back and watch guys that when they first start, man, they hold them. If there's a group picture, they're all holding them all different angles in different directions, and they're like, "How do I hold this thing?" And it's not easy.
It is
It's not easy.
It is not easy to hold a 60, 70, 80-pound
No,
fish.
it's not. It's not.
They look small.
Yeah. Right.
I wanted to take one of these back to Wisconsin with us so you can show people what size these fish really are. Because
when you're looking at them, they're so impressive. I mean,
They
it's
are.
like you're looking at a fresh deer kill your buddy shot, and you're like, I'm admiring this buck, because they're just like, it's unbelievable how big they are.
They are.
Yeah.
I mean, it's cool. They're cool fish, and like you seen, Derek, it's addicting. It's big head fever. It literally is.
Yeah. Even last night too is I don't know what the hell time it was, 4:00 in the water, and it's like wow, you don't get tired when you're out doing that type of stuff.
No.
It was more of like you're not tired, but all of a sudden like stuff on your body's not working quite how it should. It's like I'm probably tired, but I don't feel tired because your adrenaline's through the roof chasing these.
Yeah.
You never know, the next swipe of a light could be a 90-pound fish.
Right.
I mean, it's ridiculous.
yeah. On the drive home last night, you were out in like 3 minutes.
Was I really?
Yeah.
Was I sleeping?
Oh, yeah.
Didn't take long.
Didn't take long at all.
Gunner was there
Right,
too.
Gunner.
Oh man,
But,
I was doing so good.
but that's what hooks you, though. I mean, you have to witness it one time.
Yeah.
And then you understand why people push so hard to see it again.
Yeah.
It's just like shooting a big deer. It's like you're shooting yearling 2.5-year-old deer your whole life, and then all of a sudden you shoot a stud, and it's like, oh wow, this is different.
Yeah.
Same type of mindset to that.
I want to bring up 2 points here. When you and Dennis came over to talk with us, I don't know what time it was, 2 in the morning, 3 in the morning, you bowled up. We didn't even say a word. We fist pumped each other. And the first thing that Lance said is he goes, I'm glad you got to witness this.
Yep.
Because you always tell me what it's like, and
have to
I
see
haven't seen it yet. I haven't seen that size fish in those numbers.
And let's face it, fishing stories get exaggerated. So when somebody retells one, don't get me wrong, I'm sure anybody seen that epic spawn understands what it can be.
Yeah.
When you're out there chasing buffalo and you get that everything, the stars line up, everybody talks about that. And if you witness it, you know what they're saying. But big heads, since it's kind of fresh on these upper scale fish, until somebody sees it in that caliper, it's just, you don't know until you know.
Right.
That's all there is to it.
And that's my second point, Derek. You said something last night that was really cool, and it caught my attention.
Okay.
You said this is like shooting a Pope and Younger Boone and Crockett buck, skinning it out, hanging it up, getting it mounted, and then going right back out the next year and shooting another one. Except this is happening within minutes of.
I think the way I said it was actually like, this is like, I just missed a Boone and Crockett.
Yes.
And 2 minutes later, 4 more walked in. It's just like, this is insane.
Yeah.
This is crazy.
Yeah. Yeah. It was.
I used to say that if you put a 1 in front of their weight, it'd be equivalent to what a buck would score.
Oh,
is what
that's
it's like.
actually,
Especially when we first started. If I shot a 50, it's like shooting a 150-inch deer, man. I was tickled to death.
Yep.
And it
So
was
I shot a 170 last
shot a
night.
170.
Hey.
You're in the Boone and Crockett Club. You are in the Boone and Crockett Club, Matt.
3%.
Oh my. Yeah.
That is the 3%. How many guys you know done that?
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Not a lot.
Absolutely.
Speaking of big fish, Gunner, what's the biggest big head you've ever shot?
92.2.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, 92.2. Shot it this year. Noah had one in the 90s last year.
Wow.
What about you, Lance? What was your biggest one?
Man, I'm just a little under 90, like 89, 88.
Jeez.
You know, which I typically they got to throw when it was right, you know, the right timing this year, and they shot some absolute giants. I couldn't make it then, and I normally don't shoot fish scouting. I just look at them.
Okay.
I mean, we look at them, go to the next one, and I mean that's just how I've done it the last few years. So we got time to take. You know, we took a couple nights, done some fun shooting, had an absolute blast. We wouldn't able to go as a 3 group like we wanted. But they Noah and Gunner had went. They had a good time. Then I joined Gunner and we had a great time. Actually, we got Dennis out on the water that night.
Yes,
he shot his personal
best.
best.
He did.
But I've looked at a lot more fish than I've seen
Okay.
you know, over the years.
Yeah.
Or shot, I mean. But I haven't broke the 90 yet.
Okay.
I haven't broke the 90.
Not only was yours over 90, Gunner, but it was an albino or an orange one?
Yeah, it was a albino white.
Oh, man.
It was a beautiful fish.
Oh,
They're pretty.
Oh.
Sure, pretty fish.
that is nice. One little interesting thing that I'd like to bring up here about the big heads that I learned last week I was reading up about big heads. And they are a high-impact invasive species right now in the American waterways. One thing that I found that was very interesting is we know that they have no stomach, so they filter feed 24/7.
Yeah,
they have no
tricked me.
stomachs.
You tricked me on that
did.
trivia.
Yes. One thing that I also learned was so big heads, paddlefish, catfish, silvers, and other small fish fry, they filter feed. So they swim with their mouths open. It's like they're chomping on the water. A big head's almost like they're chomping on the water. But the big head has the closest gill rakes out of any filter feeding fish, which means that they're where they filter that food through, their gill rakes are so tightly together they collect everything that's going through their mouth.
Yeah.
And they are taking away so much of that plankton, zooplankton, for the native species.
Yep.
The small fish fry that rely on that food to grow, the native small fish fry. Sure. They're taking all that away. And I thought that was very interesting. I never knew that. And this morning when I got up, I hung my big head up to see what it weighed. And his gills were all opened up, and I could look up in there and look at his gill rakers. And they are a unit to be made for feeding heavy.
Yeah. And see, I think that's something in the bowfishing realm of things, the conservation efforts by people going out and shooting these, like you said, Matt, high-impact invasive species is something that gets not sold enough to the public. Everybody, big fish are great. That's awesome. Tournaments are cool. These fish are bad news, man.
Yes.
They're terrible.
Yeah.
A lot of them.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. And, you know, like you said there, Matt, that all starts from, they're filter feeding all this zooplankton, whatever little microorganisms that they're filter feeding. Mm-hmm. That affects the fry of whatever game fish you want to talk about.
Right.
That stunts that growth. There's not as many of them, so then the bigger fish aren't feeding on those fry, and it just works its way all the way down, affecting everything else in that body of water except for the invasives that are able to filter feed like that.
Right.
They're bad news, man.
Mm-hmm. They are.
We're taking them out 74-pounder at a time.
Just doing our part.
Yes.
Have you ever witnessed big head spawn?
I can't say that for sure.
Okay.
We have an idea that we think they are, but it's not like we've never witnessed anything like the buffalo spawn where you know for sure.
Yeah.
You know, where it's just obvious. I mean, we've had them full of eggs and what we think is a spawn, but I can't say 100% sure that we witnessed it.
Because from what I understand on the big heads is, for one, they don't go up into the shallows. Mm-hmm. You got your female swimming and multiple males pushing on her belly like carp and buffs, squeezing those eggs out of her and then releasing milk onto those eggs. From what I understand, they go in deeper waters and the female releases her eggs and then the males just release their milk and then it all kind of collects together and it needs to be buoyant.
Milt.
Milk?
That's not milk.
Milt. Okay.
I think milt is the actual term for a male fertilizing portion.
All right.
It looks like milk.
You've been watching, Smitty.
It does look like milk, though.
Yeah. But it needs to have a flowing river system because buffs, commons, their eggs adhere to weeds and vegetation, where the big heads and silvers, their eggs just float down the river in the currents and stuff like that there. Yeah. So maybe that's why we never really see them the pushing, I don't think maybe they don't do that stuff. Maybe they do it down low where we can't see it.
Sure.
Mm-hmm. Are we ready to get scientific here?
No. Why? Oh yeah, go ahead.
Milt,
Yes.
MILT, is the sperm containing seminal fluid from a male fish or other aquatic animal, or the sperm sac itself.
Okay.
It's a delicacy in various global cuisines, particularly in Japan. Milt can be prepared in various ways, including being breaded and fried, pickled, or served on toast. It has a creamy, fatty texture, similar to oysters or cream cheese. There we go.
Well, I hope you don't put any of that in the Rio Punch that I'm drinking.
Oh,
man.
There we go.
Pretty sure it's the main ingredient in moon pies.
Oh!
I guess that's why they work so good, ain't it?
That's right.
They're Kentucky born, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Schmitty, you got any other questions you'd like to ask Lance and Gunner here? Because it's been very informative so far. We've had a great time.
Absolutely. I don't think I have any other questions. A couple statements. Just thank you guys.
Yeah.
Thank you guys for letting us come down here, taking us out, showing us the ropes, letting us do this podcast in here. It's been absolutely a blast, and I'll remember it for the rest of my life, and I'll be forever thankful.
Yep. It's been a good time, hasn't
Absolutely.
it? Yep. Lance, Gunner, thank you guys for letting us come here to the Muddy Flat Shop right here.
You guys are very welcome.
Have you join us here on the podcast. It's been a blast.
It has been that.
It's been a wonderful friendship, too.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, it's been a wonderful friendship. Thank you guys for putting in the grind, using AMS products. American made also,
American
Lance.
made all the way, baby.
100%.
That's right. Yep. Thank you guys so much for everything you do, what you've showed us, and taking us out onto the waters and letting us experience what big head bow fishing is like when it's on.
When it's on.
We had a great time.
You got to see both sides of it.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, and thank you guys, man. Y'all really taking care of us, and we do appreciate it.
We appreciate it, man. Well, we hope you all enjoyed episode 108 down here from Kentucky, the Bowfishing Buzz podcast, brought to you by AMS Bowfishing and
Megamouth Bowfishing as well. Can't forget our fantastic sponsors, Mad Efficiency Bowfishing Lights by Outdoor Innovations USA, and Designs, Leatherwork and Embroidery, and Painted Arrow.
That's right. Gunner,
Boom.
Thank you, buddy.
Yes, sir.
Lance, thank you, buddy. Schmitty, boom. So from all of us here at AMS Bowfishing, we wish you the best of luck. And remember, aim low.
Think big. Thanks for listening, guys.